Well, I feel just as privileged. I like the city very much, and I really get along with the orchestra so beautifully. They play so well. It's a world-class orchestra. I mean, if there's anybody that doesn't know that, they should be made to know it. It's difficult to think of an orchestra that plays with more commitment and more enthusiasm, and they want to work, they want to play, and there's at the same time at rehearsals there's a good deal of laughter going on, so everybody so far seems to be quite happy.
Yeah, compared with other orchestras like Vienna and Berlin, it's still a young orchestra. Do you feel that, or do you think it's good, or is it bad?
Listen, I'll tell you what, I never rate orchestras. It's not like Wimbledon or the US Open that, you win, so you're number one now. No, there are wonderful orchestras and there are lesser orchestras. This is a wonderful orchestra.
A chief conductor role, what do you see in that? What is your responsibility for an orchestra like this?
Well, that varies with the geography a little bit, In London, it's not quite as much of an executive position as it is, for instance, in Germany or now, for instance, here, which is really the only part that would be interesting to you, I want to be part of the whole thing. I want to be part of the programs, not only that I do, but that guests do. I want to be able to pick the soloists. I want to worry about whatever is worrying the players, and I mean, for instance, this week I've got a meeting with the artistic committee to discuss programs, and we've already had several things we had a meeting the other day about touring and where and when, and that went all the way up to 2006. So I think that the chef of an orchestra, the music director of an orchestra, has to be aware of everything that orchestra does.
And a national orchestra like this Oslo Phil, do you think they have any responsibilities towards Norwegian music, towards Norwegian music life?
It's a little early for me to say. I only got here, and this year, my appointment came so quickly that they didn't have time for me, and I didn't have time for them this year, only 4 weeks. But starting next year, when I'm here for about 3 months every year, then I'll be able to give you a little more of an answer. I don't know very much about Norwegian music, I'm terribly sorry to say, but I have crates of scores at home, and I'll start going through them.
Is it important what you do in the concert, or is everything prepared in the rehearsals?
It's more important. The rehearsals are more important. But still, you have to rehearse with a goal in mind, and the goal is the concert. So you can't then say, well, the rehearsals are over, I can now take it easy. That doesn't work. No. But if you've done enough serious rehearsing, the concert will be good.
So there's not so much that happens actually on the podium itself.
No, I mean, it's difficult to romanticize a thing like that. I think that something happens on the evening of a concert that you can't duplicate in a rehearsal. I mean, the atmosphere and the adrenaline, if you like, and all that, it does take over. So sometimes you can get a performance at a concert that you would not have had at a rehearsal. But what you can at least make sure of at the rehearsal is that everything is in its place and that you are then ready for that extra something that happens.
Marius Jansons has maybe focused a lot with this orchestra on the Russian repertoire. They made a career with the Tchaikovskys and Shostakovich.
Yeah.
Do you think you will bring some different repertoire into the orchestra? Or?
Well, that's wonderful repertoire, and I've done it myself a lot. But I'm very interested in the old Viennese repertoire. I mean, I do an awful lot of Mozart and Haydn and Beethoven, and Brahms, and all the way up to...
You can still do that with this orchestra?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Why not?
No, there is a lot of opinions about this today with original instruments and
oh, no,
authentic.
I don't care about that. No. I mean, this is a great orchestra, and that's great music, and those two things belong together. But, I mean, I do a lot of Mozart, a lot of Haydn, Beethoven, Brahms, and all the way up to Mahler, Strauss, Berg, Webern. But... and I like French music. And the other thing you've not had a lot of is American music, or English music. So I will try and bring both.
But now we are going to hear you in Strauss, Sinfonia Domestica.
Yeah.
Strange piece. Not so very often played.
No, not so very often played. It's fiendishly hard. It's very long, It's almost an hour, but I think it's a terrific piece. It's in such excess, you know. It's too long, it's too loud, it's too soft, it's too sentimental, it's too strident. It's got everything in it. And he himself, Strauss, loved this piece. It was almost his favorite. And it was the last of the great symphonic poems. And it certainly shows off an orchestra. So.
And do you think it's very personal from him? Is it really so concrete meant that many tends to mean that he say about his own family and his own family life?
You mean that he pictures it in this? He always liked programmatic music. I mean, there are the long plot stories in Heldenleben and Zarathustra and Totenverklärung and all those things, and I think he used them because he wanted that help, you know, in composing. But so did Tchaikovsky. You know, there are long plots to the Pathétique and Manfred and all that. Whether he, I mean, I tell you what, there's a long fugue in Domestica, which is supposed to be a fight that he's having with his wife.
Yes.
All I can tell you is if any of us had a fight like that long and that loud, we'd never go back home. Oh. So I don't know how exact it is, but it is an amazing feat of virtuosity in the writing of it. It really is.